This video is proudly sponsored by DigimonCard.io for all your Digimon card, deck building, deck list, card pricing, and discussion needs. Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we have a top 16 breakdown for the Top Cut in-person regionals in Tennessee this past weekend. Thank you so much to Top Cut for giving me the list to give to you guys. Also to Keith Fuller from KangPetty for giving me the ordering of this, and also having two interviews for third and fourth place. So make sure to check out those interviews in the description, as well as this entire tournament was streamed as well. So there will be a link to that in this document, and this document will be linked in the description as well. So this was also, these lists were in person, like handwritten as well. So if there are any mistakes, please let me know. I'm sure there might be one or two, because those are usually a little bit more cumbersome to type in, and it did take a little bit more because of that too. So if you guys appreciate these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button. But getting on into it, we do have everybody's favorite boys, Imperialdramon and Blue Hybrid, taking the 9 of the 16 spots. Pretty standard for these to get at least half of the block nowadays, that we're so deep into this top 16 meta. And also, this was a regional, so unlike the Ultimate Cups that we've been having these past couple weeks, there were no mulligans, and also, even though it was in person, no sideboard as well, so that is something to consider as well. We also did have 2 yellow hybrids and 2 red-yellow hybrids. They're pretty much the same, and even the red-yellow version might be hindering on security control, but I still think it's a yellow hybrid build, because normally security control doesn't run those hybrids. We also have 2 X-Antibody making an appearance after a little bit, and of course 1 green hybrid. You have to have at least 1 green hybrid since Russell's Ultimate Cup win, and that's been the case for the last 3 events that we've covered. So that's really, really interesting. So we're going to go into these top 16 lists. We're going to look at every deck and the top placing of the top archetype, and so we're going to start off with Dwight Lee's Blue Hybrid. Starting with Dwight's Blue Hybrid, we do have a couple of choice tech cards, but it is, at the end of the day, still Blue Hybrid. It's had such a resurgence in these last 2 weeks. People definitely playing this a lot more. I keep saying that I think the people who are playing Imperialdramon went back to Blue Hybrid when they're like, you know what, I do like this Imperialdramon, but I like Blue Hybrid more. It's more consistent, and there's just less interaction, right? When you get to the point where you get to just having a lot of tamers on board and your opponent gives you enough memory, there's not a lot you can do on the defense side, especially in this meta here. So I think Blue Hybrid is in a really good spot. And I think Imperialdramon is definitely the deck you want to use if you want to get into that top 16. But if you want to win a tournament, you have to use Blue Hybrid, at least compared to all these results we've had these past month and a half with this meta. I think Blue Hybrid is just still better than Imperialdramon 9 times out of 10. And it's still getting these tops and these wins here. So choice deck cards that I saw, we did see 1 Rattlestar as well as the Akakomon. And then also just going down to 1 Innocence Blizzard. So just a really, the techs are up to you at this point too. And only running 9 blue rookies too, which is quite standard. The Bokomons and then the rest of the package I think is pretty standard. Again, the blue Mat Tamer I think has been more popular lately, just because of the chances to have a Digimon without sources in a lot of archetypes right now. So he's doing quite well, especially just having a Tamer to pass 2 to your opponent is really great if you have to go first as well. I'd almost max out on this guy just because that can be so good. And then the rest of the deck I think is pretty self-explanatory there. So congratulations to Dwight there on their win. And then going into the next list, we do have the second place Imperialdramon. And so the kind of the choice things I see here from Nathanael are the Magnamon at 2. Most people try, like, this is like more than usual. I'd say most people run 1, and obviously like the rookies are always like the choice part. So no Labramons, even though EX2 was available for us. Just deciding to do a pure Vmon package, and probably because you're playing the Magnas and the Lydramons. Obviously the Magna can still go on top of Vmon for 4, or as a Labramon for 4, but the Lydramon have to go on top of the Vmon, so that is a little bit important. But just being able to have like Lydramon consistently in your raising when you have a a Davis and Ken feels really great. You just guarantee 3 memory or more at the start of your next turn. That can help you out. 2 of the BT8 Vmon, I've been liking this one less and less and enjoying the Star Deck 9 one more and more. So 4 there. And everything else is, I think, pretty standard. Going into just, we have some Dino Beamons, which I think some people tech with Chimeramon, but obviously 4 of the Pyodramon, 2 Megadeths, Hidden Potential, Ice Wall, Hammer Spark, the works. I think the only thing that I'd say is that, sometimes people tech in that one of Mimi, but none of that here, especially I guess with the Lobomon, it makes more sense to have all your Tamers being able to Digivolve on top of the Lobomon. And that's all I have for here. So yeah, I don't know. Imperialdramon, solid. Everyone knows what it does. And if you are lucky and good enough to just get that X-Vmon every turn 2, swing in, go into your Imperialdramon and get 2 more swings. Unless they have very good security, there's not a lot you can do about that. So strong deck, and of course Imperialdramon's not going anywhere in this meta. So next up we do have Ryan's Yellow Hybrid, and this is a really kooky list. I think this is a really interesting one on a lot of levels. So we do have like a lot of standard yellow hybrid stuff, but we do have some cute little tech choices. Having 2 of the TK and then 3 of the Kari is interesting to me. Normally, I don't know. We see, honestly, a lot of the yellow hybrids for this event and yellow red ones, they kind of put more Karis than normal on these. And I normally just think the TKs are just better because worst case, like even if you have another one out, you can use this to draw 1. But it looks like the memory gain off this Kari seems to be kind of nice for what these players are doing. Jet Sophimon does help that recover as well as the Ophanimon, so that could help you make some plays there. We also do have like the 1 reinforcing memory boost, but you don't have a lot of recover, just besides the Jet Sophimon from here. So I think it's a really interesting choice. Jet Sophie and Ophanimon, but not as much as I've seen kind of other yellow hybrids run at the same time. So we also do have the Sophimon 1 of. So when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5k for the turn. Then you don't get the DNA Digivolve, but also inherited effect when attack and delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less. So that can be kind of nice, especially with the Ophanimon. If you swing in and then you use like a Cody effect to give something minus 2k, this can give, pop something with something like 7k or less, which can be nice. And a TK Kari can also do that as well and help you out with it. So interesting kind of choice there. I've been wanting to make a red-yellow hybrid where, you run 2 of these as well, and then you have like the red base. So this could be something fun for that, and I can maybe see using that as well. So maybe that'll be a future deck. We'll kind of look into that there. But yeah, general, just good stuff. Yellow hybrid is, again, pretty standard. It hasn't been doing as well in the Ultimate Cups, and so there might just be something to say that it is harder to brick with, but, the hands are really standard most of the time. So in a meta where your opponent can brick more often, just setting up like a couple tamers before your opponent can do anything can feel like you can't get back from that a lot of the time. So anyways, congrats to Ryan on their win there. And next up with their, not win, but top 4. Top 4 is still a win in my book with the top 4 placement there. And next up, we do have Dusten's red-yellow hybrid. So this is the 8th place list. There were 2 red-yellow ones. And of course, these, I'm calling these red-yellow hybrids. If you feel like these are more security control, let me know. But generically, I think that cards like these or decks like this that have the yellow hybrid package have to be kind of named yellow hybrid, but it does have this red base. It does have the Gaomon with the Digimon. So this is just a fantastic, Digivolve there for 1. And then when you swing, you get to draw 2 cards, which is absurd. Fireball also in the deck too, for another cheap draw 2, or being able to pop something very, inconsequential if needed. Crimson Blaze and Gaia Force are great removal targets. Crimson Blaze can just pop an entire field for like, depending on how wide the field is, very, very cheap. So that's a strong card for me. Ian's Javelin, Women's Breath, Reinforcing Memory Boost, and also 3 Holy Flames as well. So really helpful. And a Gigastorm, which delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 8k DP or less. Normally we see like Atomic Inferno instead, but Gigastorm is a little bit better with that. It is a 7 cost at the same time, but there are some destruction targets there. Again, the Gaia Force as well as the Ophanimon fall down mode and the Avenge Kidmon too. So you can just hard cast this, and it is another like red source if like needed, and you can digivolve into Sonamon if needed to. So a good tech choice there in my opinion. But just being able to like run the Crimson Blaze essentially just means that you don't have to be running Rapidmon, which this deck is not. And I think both these lists have a lot of similar things. I think the other one is a little bit more aggressive because it did run the Atomic Shot. I can't remember it. You guys can tell me in the comments what the card is. It's the 1-drop option card that gives you security attack +1 for a hybrid. I don't remember what it's called. That's fine. Congrats to Dusten. And next up, we do have Matthew Hussey's green hybrid. If this list looks familiar, it is because it is exactly the same as Russell's, except for the egg. That is the big difference, and I think that is fine. I think Russell is someone who spent a lot of time building this list and did very, very well with it, and I think the base list is just fine for me. I think the options for you, if you want to get rid of cards, he swears by the Kabuterimons and the Cherimons. I think these can be whittled down to 2 of one or the other if you want to. Santi can also just be the Thunder Laser or whatever is called the 1-drop option card that lets you rest something if you have a hybrid out. And then the top end, I know Ancient Beetlemon is the probably most popular one, but Troymon is something. If you want to go more Argomons to stop like more hybrid list, I think that's good too, as well as Shivamon. I think I like Shivamon. Some people say it's bad, but I like the idea of it. Green Memory Boost is good. I almost want to run 2 of these. I think 2 is fine. I really don't like running one of, so I probably bounce that down. And even you can even run like some more Terriermons, even like the bad ones. Sometimes just finding like 1 or 2 more Terriermons just to help out get your rookies and then have like your Rapidmon plays, I think is worth it at the time. But that's my opinion. I think Matthew made a wise choice to bring the green hybrid list that Russell brought, and it takes a good player for the same time. So congrats to Matthew for their finish there. And next up, we have the last list of the day. We do have Gabriel Brownfield's X-Antibody. So we haven't, like, X-Antibody like tops every other event most of the time. And I don't think it's been doing as well in the Ultimate Cups as compared to the regionals. And that could just be the fact that it just gets a lot more value off your opponent bricking or not seeing the pieces, and you will eventually unbrick while your opponent may not get there with kind of a list like this. So you do have like a lot of in archetype searchers like the Kota, as well as like the Black Memory Boost. Both these rookies are fantastic to just play and look at your pieces. You have the Darugomon, the Genryomon, Grumblemon, because you're playing a bunch of these tamers. The Yuji is also just a fantastic way to like gain memory and like get more cycle to help find the pieces you need to find, as well as the everything else. So playing a lot of level 6s, but you kind of have to do that for these decks. So Alphamon at 3, Ryumon at 3, and then also the Durogoromon at 2 as well. There's also the interesting choice of the Digivolution plug-in S. As long as you have a tamer out, which isn't too much to ask for, you get to draw 1 and then Digivolve one of your Digimon to a Digimon in your hand with a devolution cost of 3 or less without paying its devolution cost. So you can Digivolve into either like a Darugomon or an Alphamon for 2 with this as well, or just even the Durogreymon or the Hisaromon. So I think that's a nice kind of pick. Obviously, the Oriomon has to take 4 of, is a memory cost of 4, so you can't go into this guy. But there are some ways to like just put this underneath the Alphamon and get those procs and get the restand and everything. So I think that's a good choice. I think the Devolution plugin S has some niche uses in any deck that kind of has a lot of tamers as part of it. And I think it probably was a good choice for Gabriel there. But that is going to be it for us. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks again to Top Cut as well as KangPetty for giving me, helping me with this document a little bit. So make sure to watch their 3rd place and 4th place video interviews as well, linked in the description. And if you made it this far in the video and you aren't liking and subscribing this, you better do it, because I just rambled for a long time. So you must like my videos enough to get this far, and I would appreciate that hit. So anyways, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.